Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass. Now not long ago I did a video on what's on my Android device for December 2015. Now that video focused mainly on the applications that I've installed on my Galaxy Note 3 and also the core applications that I use on a daily basis. Now as you saw in that video I had a ton of games on my device, but I didn't really go over the actual gaming aspect. Well, today what we're going to be doing is taking a look at some gameplay and also the games that I have on my device. So this is what's on my Android device gaming edition for December 2015. So first off then we have of course Angry Birds, more specifically Angry Birds 2. Now this game has a massive upgrade compared to the first game, and the graphics are improved, the gameplay is better, and the abilities that you have are also really nice as well. Now it is a time killer and you can also get addicted to it, and it's one of those games that I install on pretty much any new device that I get. Whether it's Android or iOS, it goes straight onto my device, the game syncs, and I can pick up where I left off. Next up then we have Asphalt 8, which in my opinion is still the best racing game available for mobile. Now obviously something like Real Racing 3 comes really close, but I love the arcade feel of Asphalt 8, the graphics are also nice as well, and also the car section is extremely good. Now it can depend on your device as to how good this game actually looks, but as you can see here I've got it on my Galaxy Note 3, which is a device that is around 2 to 3 years old now, and it still works extremely well with no problems at all. Smash Bandits is an awesome racing game, but you can also take it as a bit of an endless runner game as well, as you don't really have any check markers or levels, you just have to keep going for as long as you can to get the most amount of money to then unlock new vehicles. I really enjoy the graphics style and also the simple gameplay, and I love the fact that you can transition between different vehicles and also some water vehicles like boats and things as well, to kind of just give it a bit more variety. You've also got some police that you need to be aware of, but overall it's a really fun game. Now I'm kind of new to the next game here, but it is called Cliffy Jump, and again the gameplay is very simplistic. You're going to find that that's kind of a trait with all the games that I play on my mobile device. I don't really want anything that I have to get too invested in. This game is very simple and you have different courses that you need to get through with different hazards that you need to get past to collect coins, and you can also unlock some more characters as well. It's a really simple game, really simple gameplay, but the actual game style does look quite unique, which is quite rare these days. Does Not Commute is a very weird kind of game. It's a racing game, but it's also a puzzle game, and basically the aim of the game is to get different cars from different sections of the map to other portions of the map without crashing into any other cars. If you crash into a car, it's going to be damaged and it's going to go slower, and you basically need to keep up the time limit that you can see at the top of the screen. It's a really nice game with some really varied levels and also a bunch of different vehicles as well, but it can be quite hard and there's a pretty steep learning curve. Crossy Road has kind of become the new Angry Birds. It's a really simple game with really nice gameplay and also really nice graphics as well, but there's not really that much to it. All you need to do is tap on the screen to cross the road and get as far as you can, and again it's more of an endless runner style kind of game where you pick up coins along the way to unlock different characters, and again it's just a bit of a time waster. You can't necessarily get super good at the game because it is quite varied, but again the graphics are really simple and I really enjoy playing it. Dead Trigger 2 was one of my favourite shooters available for mobile, but has recently been overtaken by another game which I'll get to later on in this video. But the actual gameplay is solid, the graphics are really nice as well, and it's really easy to play because all you need to do really is move around because the shooting is done automatically. You can unlock different weapons, play on different maps, and again you can use some in-app purchases to get access to some higher weapons, but I wouldn't really recommend it as you can access them over time just by grinding through the levels. Star Wars Heroes is one of those games that's kind of overtaken some of the other games on this list as I've started to play it quite a lot. It's a really nice game and the gameplay itself is really simple. It's basically a Star Wars RPG where you play as the light side and also the dark side, and it's a turn-based game where your team takes turn and then the other team takes turn, and you basically just have to defeat the team. You can also level up characters, and there's over 60 characters from the Star Wars universe to choose from, so it's really good to have some of the old and also new characters. Horizon Chase is a really awesome retro racer that looks super modern. The graphics are extremely nice, you've got a bunch of cars to choose from, a bunch of tracks to choose from in a load of different varied locations. The gameplay is also really nice and it's really easy to pick up and play, and again you don't really need to worry about things like in-app purchases as all you really need to do is play through the game. It's basically the complete package and reminds me a lot of the old Outrun games from in the 80s. Leo's Fortune is probably one of the best puzzle games available for mobile. As you can see here, the actual puzzles themselves are really varied and exciting. You've got some really nice graphics, and the actual character himself, Leo, is really cool to play with. You can obviously jump to make him bigger, as you can see here, which helps him to float around, but you can also slam down to the ground to open different doorways and things, and also move things around, as you can see that I'm doing here. It's a really awesome game, and again, a lot of people enjoy playing it. Gameloft are actually killing it at the moment with some awesome looking games, and Modern Combat 5 is no exception. It's brought to you by the same people that make Asphalt 8, and you can totally tell by the way the graphics are done. The gameplay is also really nice as well, and one thing that I would say is I'm not a huge fan of first person shooters where you actually have to shoot, hence why I like Dead Trigger 2. However, the actual gameplay and the way the controls are done in Modern Combat 5 is done in a way that it's not really that much of a problem, or if you want, you can also use a Bluetooth controller. Rayman Adventures is the newest in a long line of awesome Rayman games from Ubisoft available for mobile. However, this one is slightly different. There's a bit more to it, the controls are a bit more intuitive, and just in general the gameplay is a lot better than what we've had previously. It's not really just about running and jumping as it has been previously. There's lots of different things to do with lots of different levels, and you can also unlock different characters to help you out. As you can see, the ones that I've got here currently are helping me find things within the level. So again, it's really great to explore and unlock all these awesome characters. Reckless Racing 3 is a really awesome racing game that reminds me massively of the old Micro Machine games from back in the day. It's got some really nice graphics, the controls can be a little bit floaty here and there depending on the track that you're on. If you're on something like mud, as you can see here, you do slide around quite a lot, but that just adds to the enjoyment. You've got a bunch of different tracks to unlock in different locations, load of different cars as well, and the great thing about it is it looks awesome, but it can depend on the device as it can sometimes slow down a bit. So what do you get if you cross Crossy Roads with a top-down shooter? Well, you get Shooty Skies. This is a really nice game with some really awesome retro-looking graphics, and again, it's a really cool kind of endless playing game. Again, you've got different characters that you can unlock in different levels and things, and it can be quite challenging at times with loads of different things on screen, but again, it runs extremely well no matter pretty much what device you're going to be using it on, and again, it does look and sound awesome. Skyforce 2015 is a really nice looking game, and it's actually based on the original Skyforce, which came out 20 years ago, and this is the 20th anniversary edition. It's a really great looking game with an awesome soundtrack to it as well, and the actual sounds in the game of shooting and things exploding sounds extremely cool. You've got some awesome upgrades for your aircraft as well, and it's free to play, which is probably the best aspect of any game on mobile. Hitman Sniper is a game for the gamers that want to think. If you don't want to get caught and you need to evade some people, you need to think really cleverly about the shots that you're going to be taking within this game. Now, I've actually done a full review on Hitman Sniper along with another game called Hitman Go, and I'll have that linked in the description down below, but if all you want to do is just snipe from a far distance and not get too involved in the action, this is probably the best game to play. However, a better looking game of Hitman Sniper has to be Sniper Fury, and again this does come from Gameloft. The gameplay is extremely solid, the graphics look awesome, and it is varied between assault rifles and also sniper rifles as well, so that's something to keep in mind. You've also got a really awesome kill cam where it does a really slow motion effect which looks great, and again the gameplay is quite varied. You've got different locations, different attachments, and also different weapons that you can unlock along the way. And did I mention that slow motion camera? I never really had a Sega, I was more of a Nintendo kind of guy, but this Sonic game, Sonic Boom 2, is a really awesome endless runner, and it does have that retro flair of being a Sonic game. It's really easy to play, you've got different characters to unlock, and also different enemies to take out as well, so the aim of the game really is to get as far as you can, and there's also some boss battles as well at different parts of the varied levels. And lastly, we finish with the game that's overtaken Dead Trigger 2 to become my favourite shooter on Android, and that is Unkilled. You've got some really incredible graphics, even on older hardware, as you can see here. Great gameplay, awesome weapons to unlock, and you've also got a bit more variation in terms of the actual enemies, locations, and you've got some cool challenges like the one that I'm doing here, which is to kill 10 enemies with a melee weapon. The gameplay is solid, the graphics look awesome, and it's probably my favourite game that I'm playing at the moment. And that is going to do it, guys. As always, I'm going to have links to all of these applications in the description down below so you guys can download them and try them out for yourself. Now, some of these games are free and some of them are paid, but I will also have all that information in the description with the links. Now, if you've got any questions about any of the games that I went through today, or just in general any other games that you think I should take a look at, be sure to leave that information in the comment section down below or contact me on Twitter at CopperVSGlass. For more great content, don't forget to subscribe, and if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm Michael from CopperVSGlass, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.